Hello and welcome to today's Cognigy webinar. My name is Sebastian Glock and I'm Head of Product Marketing with Cognigy. Today, I'm very proud to have a guest speaker in our webinar who is a true expert in conversational AI and has first-hand experiences in delivering superior customer experiences at scale. Fabian Schneidereit is Delivery Manager for Conversational AI at E.ON Digital Technology. He manages a number of projects across E.ON Group, always with the goal to leverage conversational AI for the benefit of better customer experiences. E.ON is one of the largest and most well-known energy providers and infrastructure operators in Europe, with more than 75,000 employees and over 50 million customers across Europe. So Fabian, without further ado, thank you very much for being our guest today, and the stage is yours.
Thanks, Sebastian, and hi, everyone. Thank you for having me. What I want to tell you today is a little bit about the journey that we at E.ON have taken with conversational AI. And Sebastian, you already introduced my person pretty good, so I will focus a little bit more on E.ON. And also there, you described what E.ON is about. We are indeed an energy company operating in Europe. Typically, when we ask people what they know about E.ON or what their relationship with E.ON is, they talk about their meter readings, that we have energy networks or some power plants. Maybe also you have the same impression, but I want to also show what E.ON is also about. And basically we have three focus areas. And first of all, it is sustainability as really the backbone of our strategy. We have growth, so we want to invest and grow in sustainable projects and companies. And we have digitalization. And luckily, digitalization is the main focus of my company, E.ON Digital Technology. And within the field of digitalization, today we are looking at conversational AI. And what I want to share with you today is the journey of creativity. So I'm very happy to introduce you to creativity, and you will see it will join us through all of our journey. And this journey starts back in 2015. Back then, there was a huge group-wide digitalization project, and one of its goals was to implement a new digital customer channel. And that was when we first implemented a live chat solution for our sales and for the customer service departments. You all might know that the email channel, for example, can end up in mail ping pong, or on the phone you sometimes have to wait, or you just don't want to do a call. So with live chat, we now had a channel where you can chat with an agent in real time. It was just simple and fast. For sales, we saw that the conversation rate with live chat was really good, but in general, the usage for sales, it was not that high. For customer services, we had a different challenge. Here was a usage so high that we simply had not enough agents to handle the amount of incoming chats. For us, it was still a good start, obviously, and a good learning, and it led to our next step in our journey. This was basically in-app messaging. So back in 2016, it was a year where WhatsApp was becoming more and more popular, and also E.ON started with an own messaging solution, and we implemented it in the E.ON app. And this was in-app messaging. So back in 2016, it was a year where, for example, WhatsApp was becoming more and more famous. And also we at E.ON implemented an own messaging solution within our E.ON app. And what we saw here was the demand was again impressive. And though it was good that so many people use this functionality, we still had kind of a stuffing issue because of the incredible high demand. In addition, we saw that we have some differences with our German-speaking customers and our, for example, English-speaking customers. So while in the UK it was pretty clear what messaging actually means, in Germany the phrasing was not known good enough, so many customers expected a quick answer like in live chat. That led to some differences in satisfaction. You can say in UK, for example, it worked a little better than in Germany. So given the fact that the demand was still so high, we wanted to bring in automation. And That is when we first started with chatbots. And having chatbots gave us plenty of options. So we now could do analytics and see what the need of the customer really is. For example, we saw that customers who have topics that you might not want to discuss in person, for example, when you cannot pay your bill anymore, often ask such questions in FAQ bots. And on the other hand, we saw that customers who have to deal with processes like the meter reading submission or the change of the bill amount, transactional bots were a quick and easy way to handle those processes. So for example, if you sit on your sofa on a Saturday evening, you still were able to just tell the bot to change your bill amount. At the end, this saved time for the customers and for the agent, and it was a big step forward again on our journey. But we wanted more, and in 2018, we wanted that our bots are able to speak. So what we did is we started to create first use cases for voice devices like Alexa. But to be very honest, we soon saw that the usage, it was not that high. And if you think maybe of your own usage of such devices, you might agree that a skill of your energy company is not the most used thing. Maybe you rather use it to listen to some nice music or control your smart home or get the weather forecast, but not to submit your meter reading. For us, it was still a good learning, and it was actually the start of our first voice bots. But of course, also for the chatbots, we wanted to further develop them. And until 2019, creating a bot meant that everything, so the logic, the content, it was all coding work for each and every single chatbot. So you can imagine this meant a lot of effort and a lot of time for every single new bot. So we decided to build something that could help us having less effort. And we called it the Bot Factory. And what is a bot factory? So what we thought is it would be a cool thing to have reusable components that you do not have to build new for every bot. And also, we wanted to give the business the option to work on some content on their own if they want. That is what the Bot Factory was about. And it helped us to have less effort, even though for new components, still was some coding effort, but the self-built solution, we were able to scale up faster already. But to be also very transparent, to run an own platform with our capacity that we had back then, it was this effort on its own, it was quite huge. So we thought, okay, how can we develop further? And we thought, okay, let's first ask our business what they really want. And so we did. And what we heard is that the business wants the option to build bots on their own in self-service. They wanted to have the option of centralized maintenance, and they wanted to have modularity. And at the end, this is the reason why we are here today. We connected with Cognigy and became partners, and simply because the platform provides us all of those options. And then things went really fast. So in 2021, we migrated the first bots onto the Cognigy platform. And from then on, things really went up like a rocket. And it's not only that the number of bots was increasing rapidly, we also could develop new functionalities. And I want to show you some of them real quick. And I want to start with what we call the bot family. So together with one of our grid companies, we developed the bot family concept. And you might know it also from your companies. There is a bot for IT topics, one for HR, and for many more. And the concept of bot family means that we connect them. So you can talk to what we call the parent bot, and all the different bots are there as so-called skills in behind. So you do not have to approach each and every bot separately. You can simply talk to one bot. And yet, the family still grows. What we also developed is something called conversational routing. if you think of customer support, you have in, for example, contact centers, different experts for different topics. And earlier, we had the scenario that if the customer needed to talk to someone, he was forwarded to any agent, no matter which expertise this agent had. And with conversational routing, we now can forward the customer based on his intent and his customer data to the right expert, which saves a lot of time for both, so the customer and the agent. And talking about customer data, this can be also commercial data. For example, if a customer is valid for a new tariff, the logic for the forwarding can consider this in the routing and show this also to the agents, so that there is also the potential for commercial value. And last but not least, I want to mention the multi-channel integration. So we really can implement a chatbot or a voice bot on different platforms, no matter if it's a website, if it is Microsoft Teams, WhatsApp, Slack, or you name it, we can be there. And for us, the advantage is that we can be where our customer is. This helps us simply to reach more of them, and it improves the customer experience. But now I only said what we think was a good idea, or what we did, but gladly we saw that the efforts are also recognized by others. So last year, some of the bots already won some prizes, and that gives us really the feeling that we are on a good way for the future, and that it was the right decision to have Cognigy as our partners. And future is actually a good point. I also want to share a little bit what we plan for the future. And starting with the E.ON Masterbot, I told you about the E.ON bot family earlier. And you heard it is still growing. At the end, our vision is to have one E.ON Masterbot, so that you can do everything you want by talking to only one bot. And because we are an international company, the talking happens in many different languages. So we want to achieve that no matter which language is spoken, our bots recognize this, translate it internally, and reply in the respective language. We also want to drive the automation further. So if you think, for example, of own employees, time records, room bookings, these are all daily businesses that could be also done by a bot, and we want to further improve there. And again, last but not least, we are looking into the metaverse, where we are really excited what the future can bring and what use cases can be fulfilled with it. You see, creativity grew a lot on our journey, and it helped us to achieve already a lot, and hopefully even more in the future. And maybe in a few years, we can show you how things went. But for now, I only want to say thank you for listening.
Thank you, Fabian, for this excellent presentation and also for sharing your insights and experience with us today.
Yeah, you're welcome. It was a pleasure.
So, Fabian, let's use the opportunity to learn a bit more from you and ask you a few questions. Maybe let's start with this one. What is the impact of the technology in your company? Do you have some metrics or statistics or any KPIs that you can share with us that demonstrates what you have achieved based on conversational AI?
Looking back at 2022, we saw that over all of our units that we are working with, we had 2 million of conversations, what is for us pretty impressive. And wherever we use Cognigy or wherever we have conversational solutions, we really see that the NPS or the customer satisfaction is increasing. So I believe this is already the most important thing. So it becomes easier to get in contact, to solve your issues that you have as a customer or as an employee. And yeah, for us, this is a really cool thing.
Yes, and for us too, and hopefully for your customers as well. Thank you very much for sharing that, and you've been very open about your experiences and also about your learnings, what works and what didn't work. So looking back at the start of where you were a few years ago, with what you know today, if you could start all over again, what would you do differently this time?
Yeah, it might sound like a cliche or a little romantic, but in my role as project manager, there is not that much that I would change. So I'm really happy at the moment, and maybe the one wish I have is that we can share the solution and share the knowledge that we have with even more business units at E.ON, because at the end, everyone has a profit when we have conversational solutions, especially in contact centers. So yeah, not much that I would change, but focusing maybe more on even sharing more into our company.
Perfect. Thanks for spreading the word. Thanks for sharing internally. Thanks for sharing externally. I found that extremely interesting to listen to your presentation today, also to talk to you in our little Q&A session. With that, once again, thank you, Fabian. We are at the end of our webinar with this. Fabian, thank you for being our guest today. For you and
Thank
everyone
you.
else, have a wonderful day and speak to you soon. Bye-bye.
Same for you. Thanks. Bye bye.